I grew up in Philadelphia. My dad was a welder. He worked at the Philadelphia Naval Base. My mom worked for the Philadelphia Psychiatric Center. And my brother, Tony, and I were expected to do well in school and to go on to college. I went to the local parochial school. Now, the interesting thing about that is, and when Anthony phrased it, it's not that I came from this big Catholic family. Nothing could be further than the truth. Actually, my neighbor was Catholic. And she was my neighbor and best friend, and I didn't dare start first grade without my best friend with me. So that's how I ended up going to the local parochial school. Then I went on to graduate from West Catholic Girls High School and then on to college. Now, when I went off to college, I had no idea what I wanted to be or to study. All I know is that I made it to college and I would figure it out once I got there. Well, now I know that the choices that I made in college were a result of the America that I grew up in. When I was growing up in America, it was in a state of turmoil. Now, many would say it's in a state of turmoil today. The war in Vietnam was raging. The images I saw on TV and the newspapers will be forever etched in my memory. Many of my brother's friends never came back from that war. And those that did come back from that war were changed forever because of the things that they experienced there. I witnessed firsthand Black people struggle for equality and civil rights and the racial tension that led to riots and destroyed many American cities across our nation. I watched the nation mourn the assassination of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. and, of course, the Democratic presidential candidate Robert Kennedy, and the tumultuous Democratic National Convention in 1968. I also witnessed the emergence of the powerful women's liberation movement calling for an end to sexism and equal rights for women. College campuses around the nation erupted in protest over the war, establishment-type politics, human rights violations, and environmental concerns. These events forced our nation to re-examine its values and to make changes. Civil rights and voting rights legislation was passed. Programs and agencies were created to protect the health, welfare, and safety of its citizens and environment, and to address education, medical care, poverty, racial injustice, urban problems, and rural poverty. I've seen the best and I've seen the worst of America, and I've concluded that our worst behaviors and losses create an opportunity for us to reach our full potential. When the people unite, seek the truth, commit to change, and doing the right thing, our world can become a better place. Unfortunately, today, many of these programs, agencies, and legislation has come under attack from an administration that lacks the vision for the future. Reversal politics and policies have contributed to a deteriorating social climate in our nation. Republican leadership in response to DACA, the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, the ban on transgender military personnel, and the refusal to admit the harmful consequences of climate change to our environment has resulted in distrust and turmoil among us. America's reputation as a world leader and a caring, compassionate nation has been damaged. And now it is time for the people to unite. It is up to us, the citizens, political leaders, and communities to unite. We need to reject media coverage that focuses on nonsense and foolishness. Yeah. We should collectively respond by refusing to engage and demand that personal attacks be stopped. We should stop encouraging those behaviors that distract us from focusing on the real issues that our country faces. Now let's talk about those issues. As a widow, a mother, a grandmother, and a retired educator, I will be the voice for all the hard-working families that have been forgotten in our community. I am a progressive Democrat, and I support fair tax policies that eliminate unfair advantages for the wealthiest citizens and corporations at the expense of the working and middle class Americans. I will work to build financial security and help grow our economy, by growing incomes and raising the minimum wage to stimulate spending across the entire population, because that's what creates jobs. I reject the notion that tax reform, which calls for lowering taxes on the wealthiest Americans and corporations, it simply leads to the accumulation of wealth in the hands of a few, and it's hoarding.
Yes.
I will work to ensure that health care coverage is expanded to all Americans at an affordable cost, from the cradle to the grave, and to secure women's reproductive rights.
Yes.
I will fight for complete civil liberty for all Americans.
Yes.
Sensible immigration policy and evidence-based public school reform. I will work hard to stop for-profit privatization of public institutions that enrich a few at the expense of our most vulnerable. And to include the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math community in the policy-making processes that impact our communities and our work. Finally, I am running for Congress to represent the 2nd Congressional District because I want to give back. I want to make a difference in this community. I am committed to uniting all of our communities and working together to solve our common problems. Stagnant wages, home foreclosures, rising taxes and medical costs, addiction, mental illness, unaffordable college tuition, increasing debt, and the overall anxiety about the future and our resources. We can become a better, fairer, smarter America if we use our talents, our skills, and resources wisely. There is no obstacle that we cannot overcome to make our communities more prosperous and enriched. As Anthony said, the founders wanted the House of Representatives to be a legislative body for the people, ordinary citizens like you and like me. The founders didn't have people like Frank Lobiando in mind with an entrenched political desire that is unaccountable to those that they represent. So, if I have the honor of representing you in the House, I will speak out for your interests and I will fight fearlessly for our district. I know that we can and we will make government work to protect the people and not the special interests. Thank you again for coming.